mythology, but Belial768, Belial. You know, if you guys don't know, Belial is this name for this demonic creature, basically the devil in the Bible, okay?
Is it the same as Balaam or Baal?
Yeah.
Oh.
Baal's is
So
kind
are
of
they
like the devil too. Actually, I don't know. Some people will say it's related to that, but other people will say it's not. There's some controversy over the origin of that word, you know?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Upside down cross. So all the symbol, every single symbol on here is some wicked symbol. The one eye, the upside down crosses, every single thing. No point in running. Really, yeah, Belial is in the Old Testament and in the New Testament too, because you have for example in First Samuel chapter 2, or maybe it's chapter 1, or maybe it's chapter 1 or 2. But anyway, Hannah talks about that. She says like, don't think of me as a daughter of Belial. I'm not a daughter of Belial. She says that, right? And then the phrase comes up in the New Testament as well. I think Jesus says it. Oh, 2 Corinthians. Oh, thanks. If I see the hidden subliminal satanic symbol, it's not even hidden. I know he's not even hiding it. He's just straight up. He's just
I think
admitting it.
he's
Look, he's got the skull.
yeah, his like whole channel is just dedicated to this stuff.
But notice. Look, guys. By the way, notice how he has the similar things to the other videos I point out. He's openly a Satan worshiper, right? But this guy has all the things I point out in the other videos by just Christians or other people that pretend to be Christians or whatever. So like he has the two pillars, they're lamps. He has a skull, you know? So he has all the same or many of the same symbolism that I find in these other videos, but they're not admitting that they're demon worshippers, you know?
We've all seen the horror movies in which someone is tormented or possessed by a demonic entity. We've seen the body contortions, the projectile vomiting, we've heard the guttural sound of tongues being spoken by an innocent child, and every time we watch as some priest or exorcist expels the demon and saves the family. For most people, the stories revolved around these demonic entities ends there. Just another scary story. But what if I told you that it goes much, much deeper than that? That over the course of thousands of years, these entities known as demons have been documented and studied in religious and occult texts to such a degree that I don't even have time in a single video to explain it all. I'd like to welcome you into the world of demonology, and provide today a basic overview of the history of demons specifically pertaining to the Abrahamic religions. Mainly Christianity, but we'll also touch on things from Judaism and Islam as well, as all of the Abrahamic faiths obviously share scripture and
Yeah, look
overlap
at this
with
look at the sign, witches and devils. Witches and devils. This mask here is weird, dude.
Oh, he has the candles like two pillars.
Yeah, the way they have the pillars, you're right. Good point.
one another on many
His haircut
topics.
too.
This will be part one of
Haircut? What?
Yeah, obviously, anyone who has that haircut is a shill.
Yeah, he's just losing his hair, dude. Just chill out, man. Don't get on the guy's
two-part
case
overview.
Your hair looks suspicious though.
Why?
Cause you that's like a cultic
Painted nails.
hairstyle.
Yo,
That's like
dude,
the
he has
emo.
painted nails.
Wait, they are?
I don't know. I can't tell yet. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, he seems to have. But thanks for that, Jay. But look at his shirt. Is that a checkerboard on his shirt?
Yeah, that is a
His
checkered
sleeve?
pattern.
Wow, dude. See what they do? They hide it.
Review on demonology. In the next video, I'll go over demonology from
But
the
you see it? They are
occult perspective, but it's
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
is a bit. He says they govern the Abrahamic religions. Main religions have been documented and studied in demonology. and provide today as well, as all of the Abrahamic faiths obviously share scripture and overlap with one another on many topics. This will be part 1 of a 2-part overview on demonology. In the next video, I'll go over demonology from the occult perspective, but it's important to watch this video first as much of occult demonology stems from Christian and Abrahamic demonology. One is essentially an extension of the other. I should preface this by saying that demonology is an absolute mess, with many different cultures and religions believing in different things or having different names for the same things and many inconsistencies, variations, and highly debated topics. That being said, I'll do my best to keep it organized and concise today, but in future videos, I'll explore demonology from different viewpoints and focus in on specific scriptures or specific demons, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be here when we do dive into those things. Anyways, get comfortable. We have a lot to talk about. Let's start with the word itself. Demon originates from the ancient Greek word daimon and essentially just means deity or spirit and encompasses a wide variety of supernatural entities. The term, as the Greeks and Romans used it, actually did not have any negative connotations. Unlike today, where the term demon is synonymous with a purely malevolent spirit, in ancient times there were both good daimons.
No.
Do you see that demon picture?
Yeah, it's so lame.
No, that's that's what
What?
happened. That's what I turn into when you don't give me a cookie.
I know. That's why I was trying to give it to you. Just chill. I'll email it to you.
Unlike today, where the term demon is synonymous with a purely malevolent spirit, in ancient times there were both good daimons and bad daimons. In some writings, even the Olympian gods such as Zeus, Ares, Aphrodite, Poseidon were referred to as daimons. More commonly, however, daimons were known as beings that acted as intermediaries between gods and humans. We can find mention of these entities constantly in the works of ancient philosophers, most importantly, the Greek philosopher Plato. In his words, the daimonic interprets and carries over to the gods things from men, and to men things from the gods. From the one, prayers and sacrifices, and from the other, orders and rewards for sacrifice. It fills the space between both, and thus binds the all to itself. The philosopher Apuleius wrote that there are certain divine powers of a middle nature situate in this interval of air between the highest aether and the earth below, through whom our aspirations and our deserts are conveyed to the gods. These the Greeks call by name daimons. He goes on to explain, just like Plato, that they are messengers between gods and humans. That all revelations, the various miracles of magicians, and all kinds of presages are the work of these daimons. He says they govern the flights of...
Anyway, you know what? By the way, but people mostly pronounce it as daimons, as far as I know. Someone who studied Greek, that's as far as I know, okay?
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
always
it's
thought it
like...
was daemon,
Yeah.
not
And, like,
diamond.
not daimon. This guy's so weird. But anyway, but it's also like, it's like, even like Socrates had one, you know? Or like all those
Mhm.
people, like, it was really like those, all the, like, it was pretty much considered to be the norm, that, or just like, it was just a given that all the poets, all the musicians, all those type of people, artists in those days, sculptors, that they had a daemon that would help them to do their work. And Socrates also said that he had one.
flights of birds, they inspire prophets, they launch thunder and
I
lightning.
think they're
Essentially,
cuckoo.
daimons, as the Greeks and
Huh?
I think they were cuckoo back then. I don't know.
Maybe they were practicing some kind of witchcraft too, right? Because they did, like, thing is, paganism, like, let's say in ancient Greece, they did magic. They did magic, you know, even in the temples, or even they would have like kind of like village witches and stuff. People would have, like, they would do these rituals and stuff. They would do these type of things. They would try to summon spirits, try to communicate with spirits.
People
Was it
were
all
weird.
superstition? Yeah, they were weird. They were weird. They didn't have Christ. Without Christ, people are weird. The KJV, they're called devils, yeah. I prefer demons, yeah, but demons, yeah. That's right. In the tech software, they talk about that, right? Yeah.
Greeks and Romans knew them were lesser spirits. Ghosts, forces of nature, spiritual guides, anything that they could not explain at the time was the work of a daimon. There was nothing inherently evil about a daimon. They did good things, and they did bad things. Their existence was morally ambiguous, akin to a force of nature that could be harnessed for good, but should also be at some times feared. But how exactly did the word come to represent the evil spirits of hell that we know today? Well, let's talk about a little book that you might have heard of called the Bible. Or more specifically, the Septuagint, which is the Greek translation of the Hebrew Bible translated into Greek for the Greek-speaking Jews of Alexandria in Egypt. In the Septuagint, several Hebrew words were translated into daimon. In the Old Testament, specifically the Book of Judges and the Books of Kings, there is mention of evil spirits. These evil spirits in Hebrew were known as shiddim. In the Greek translation, they became daimon. The word for idol or foreign deities was also changed to daimon. And so Jewish writers began using the term to also refer to pagan gods, which they seen as evil. It also translates the word disease into daimonia, adding more negative connotations to the word. Interestingly enough, there are obviously angels mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, but the Greek translators of the Septuagint never used the term daimon for them, even though in the writings of Plato and other philosophers, angels most certainly fell into the daimon category. There were some Jewish writers that did connect angels to daimons, but the translators of the Septuagint specifically, for whatever reason, avoided making any connection between the two. Only thing
Wait, so what is he trying to say? The angels.
or negative connotations to the word. Interestingly enough, there are obviously angels mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, but the Greek translators of the Septuagint never used the term daimon for them, even though in the writings of Plato and other philosophers, angels most certainly fell into the daimon category. There were
Because Plato and them didn't believe in angels. That's the thing. That's the difference. What is this guy talking about? This is foolishness. So this is why they try to misinform you, you know? Angels is a different word. Like they have some words in Hebrew, like like he was saying shadim, I think it's or heshadim or something like that. It's like a demon. So then in the King James they say devils. In the Greek Septuagint they'll say daimon. But the word for angel is like I think it's malak. It's like a messenger. It's a totally different word. So why would you translate a different word in the same word, you know? So that's foolish. But look what he's doing with his hand. See how he put his hand like that?
Oh, wait.
Remember,
Is that even
remember I
an
was showing
angel?
you?
It has horns.
Yeah, this is weird. This is weird, but it's some kind of angelic statue or something. But these are all weird anyway, you know, because angels don't have wings anyway. But remember, I was showing you that thing that guy was doing that crafty. Do you remember who was doing that? I can't remember. I was showing you somebody doing that. Anyway,
Oh,
all right,
yeah, I forgot to.
it's all right.
Because I've
there were
seen so many
some Jewish
people do
writers
it.
that did connect
Yeah.
angels to diamonds, but the translators of the Septuagint specifically, for whatever reason, avoided making any connection between the two. Only things associated with evil were translated into daimon, which caused the word to be applied to the Judeo-Christian concept of an evil spirit by the early 2nd century AD, and created a clear separation between two very
What?
Christian the two. Only things associated with evil were translated into daimon, which caused the word to be applied to the Judeo-Christian concept of an evil spirit by the early 2nd century AD, and created a clear
No, it's because why would we translate some other thing as a daemon? Why would we do that? Why would we translate an angel as a daemon? The translators of the Septuagint were correct to understand that these things are daemons. These things are what do they call them? Angelos, the angel, right? So they knew that. They just knew that. They understood. And you know what's interesting too? The word for angel, right, in Hebrew is also the word for messenger, malak. Okay, and then in Greek, the word for messenger is angelos. So they just use that word, and that's why that became angel in our language. You know?
Yeah.
clear
So
separation
is he
between
trying
two
to
very
say that,
different
like,
supernatural entities.
is he trying to say that angels should have been in the same category as daemons?
Yeah, he's trying to say because in his mind, he's trying to say because the Greeks and them they didn't always consider demons to be evil the way we do, right? So he's saying that when they translated the Bible, they should have kept to those norms of the Greek language, and not done it the way they did. But they were very careful, and they did a good job. They did a fine job. Nothing
Well,
wrong with
also
it.
because they're trying to because the Greeks, that was basically their own interpretation. That was their own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't getting their ideas from the scriptures. So so it's not good for you to take a man's idea and put it into the Bible like that.
Exactly. And that's why most people would argue that the Septuagint, the Greek Old Testament, was translated by Jews, by Jewish scholars. You know, so that's why they kept it within the worldview of the Bible instead of the worldview of the pagans. You know.
Well, pagans.
The angels who were the servants.
That's not good.
No, what I mean is when they translated the Greek Bible, they didn't use the worldview of the pagans. They used the worldview of the Bible. You know.
Yeah, so they shouldn't be. Even if people are arguing that they should have, like, that's not good.
Yeah, exactly. It's foolish.
Like, the
This
Bible
guy's
speaks
just being
against it.
foolish. Yeah. This guy's just he's trying to make it seem like it's only because of Christianity that these things have been demonized. The daemons were good. Many of them are good. They can help you. We can learn from them, you know. But it's the Christians, the stupid Christians. They're the ones that put us down, you know. That's what he's trying to present here.
Yeah, it's like
servants of God on the side of.
like, why would you want to change the Bible to fit something that goes against?
I know, it's stupid. Because he's a wicked anti-Bible person, yeah. He's an anti-Christian. Unclean spirits, yeah, that's true too. On the gospel, the devils are scared of Jesus, telling Jesus not to torment them. Yeah, the devils.
Side of good, and the purely malevolent and unclean spirits known as demons or devils on the side of evil. So yeah, the word demon as we know it today essentially just comes down to a slight misunderstanding of a translation, or rather a seemingly intentional mistranslation in an effort.
No, you see what he's saying? He's not understanding. No, it's not a mistranslation. They translated it correctly. They just had a proper understanding of that worldview. It's not. They're not trying to translate it into a Greek worldview. They're trying to translate the Hebrew language into Greek in the Hebrew worldview, in the Christian or the kind of Old Testament Hebrew worldview, you know?
An effort to make a clear separation between God and his angels as the unquestionable forces of good, and all other gods, deities, or spirits as evil demons. Of course, it took a while, and I mean centuries, for this very black and white view of daimons being evil to catch on. But eventually, the Christian concept of demons took over, and that's why today, when we think of demons, we think of the fiery horned devils that work for Satan, causing nothing but.
No, this is just weird. This is not what hell looks like, you know? It makes it seem like the devils are gonna be ruling it and stuff, you know?
Yeah, that's what the pagan religions teach, like for their hell worldview. It always just shows. Oh, do you remember the medieval devil giving birth and eating the guy?
Oh, I know, it's so good, dude. So good.
That's creepy. Imagine spending your whole life learning how to be a painter, only to waste your time painting that.
I know, man. Horrible. You know what? There's a story. You know the Iliad of Homer?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there's a story where this one guy's, I forget his name, but the goddess Athena actually eats him. She eats the guy, and then she gives birth to him again. And he's like reborn as this hero, you know, who can fight Achilles and stuff, you know.
What the?
No, it's so dumb. It's so utterly dumb. So utterly dumb.
Suffering.
That's probably where they got their reference.
As Christianity spread across Europe.
Yeah, maybe. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, maybe.
Because during the Renaissance, they were going to the Greco-Roman stuff. They're going back to the paganism things, and they're interpreting that into their own art.
Yeah. Absolutely. You're right. Absolutely.
Started to be applied not only to the demons and false idols mentioned in the Bible, but to any pagan god. This included the Olympian gods of ancient Greece, the gods of ancient Rome, the Norse gods of the northern Germanic people, and any other god or deity that wasn't the one true god of the Christian faith. This even extended to other mythological creatures found in the folklore of various regions that Christianity spread to.
Fairies.
From ghosts.
Fairies are real.
Yeah, they are. They're demons. But this is the thing. The Bible does teach us that when the Gentile, like, if you look at 1 Corinthians 10, I think 20 or 21, it says, when the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God. Okay? And that's from the Old Testament too. So the Bible has always taught that the gods of the pagans, the gods of these other people groups are basically devils. Okay? What do you think?
Ghosts
okay. But I have I have some toys in my room that have fairy wings. I don't know what to do with them now.
Just destroy them.
Fairies and everything in between. If it wasn't God,
you don't have to. It's okay, man.
What if I just remove the wings?
It's nothing. Well, you can do that or whatever. You don't have to. Like, it's not a big deal, bro. But
that means I can't be a demon worshiper, dude.
No. What do you think hell will be like?
Black.
I think it's gonna be a lot like that guy. Well, I don't know. I think it might be light. There might be darkness there too. You're right. But I was thinking like that guy, like, you know, in Luke 16 with the rich man and Lazarus.
Oh yeah, the guy that wanted to get a drop of water.
Because he's being tormented, and it's fiery, it's hot. He's tormented in this flames. So it's very hot, it's very uncomfortable, it's very unpleasant. But it's not like he's being burned alive, literally being burned, tortured to death, like tortured for eternity. I don't think that's what it is. But it's very unpleasant, it's very tormented. He is tormented.
God, Jesus, or an angel. In the eyes of the Christians, it was most certainly a demon. There is nothing in the original scripture that specifically states these gods and other deities are demons exactly, but important Christian scholars at the time sort of took it upon themselves to document this and add to what classifies as a demon. And so it sort of became a biblically unofficial yet widely accepted Christian belief. Nothing mythological creatures found in the folklore of various regions that Christianity spread to. From ghosts to fairies and everything in between, if it wasn't God, Jesus, or an angel, in the eyes of the Christians, it was most certainly a demon. There is nothing in the original scripture that specifically...
That's true. No, it does. Look, what are you saying? What was he saying?
He states these gods and other deities are demons exactly.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. That's what I just told you, right? 1 Corinthians 10, 21 or 20 or something like that, 20, 21. And then it's also, let me see. I think it's Leviticus.
I have a question.
What?
I went on ChatGPT to find the story that you're talking about. ChatGPT. It says that Zeus ate his first wife and then gave birth to Athena from his own head.
Yeah, that's true too. That's another story though.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about, look, in the Iliad. Like, ask it. So in the Iliad, Athena, I think is Athena. I'm pretty sure. It might be that. Actually, it might be the other one, Diana. I don't know. Anyway, one of the goddesses eats a guy and then gives birth to him again, and he's reborn. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Oh, so it's Deuteronomy 32:17. They sacrifice unto devils and not to God. Deuteronomy 32:17. And then that is also picked up by Paul in 1 Corinthians 10, 20 or 21. Okay.
But important Christian scholars at the time scripture that this or an angel, in the eyes of the Christians, it was most certainly a demon. There is nothing in the original scripture that specifically states these gods and other deities are demons exactly, but important Christian scholars at the time sort of took it upon themselves to document this and add to what classifies as a demon. And so it's sort of...
Don't give them a chance. What do you say to people that say hell is in the center of the earth? Some people say the center of the earth is more hot than the sun. I don't know. I'm a flat earther, bro. Okay. So I do tend to think the earth is the hell is like below us, you know? But it's not like center of the earth. I don't know. That's really what it says.
I'm a flat
It's
earther,
the
bro.
heart, it says the heart of the earth, I think, in the Bible. The heart of the earth. Took ancient history, but I can't remember the story. It's the Iliad. It's from the Iliad. Did you find it yet? I don't see how it's possible for hell to be in the sun, in the earth. So it has to be in another spiritual realm that God created. That's possible. Yeah. Diana.
Sort of became a biblically unofficial yet widely accepted Christian belief. Okay, so now that we understand that the word demon was somewhat altered as time went on and as religions evolved, we will be ignoring all those nuances and going back to the current understanding of the word just to avoid confusion. So demons are evil spirits. Sure, let's talk about the earliest records of demons before Christianity. Possibly the earliest mention of demons or evil spirits predating Christianity comes from ancient Mesopotamia. Texts that date back to over 5,000 years ago speak of evil spirits known as udug. They are only described as being like dark shadows with an absence of light surrounding them, that the air around them was poisoned, and that their voices were deaf.
That looks like a spider.
Yeah.
There are Mesopotamian texts that detail instructions for exorcising these udug. Much like the Greek view, however, it seems that there were good and evil udug, as the exorcism texts seem to invoke a good udug in order to protect from the evil udug. It's theorized, however, that much like many demons referenced in ancient texts, that the udug may have been somewhat of an archaic explanation for physical and mental illnesses in the absence of modern medical science. The origin of the concept of demons in the Abrahamic religions, however, actually comes from an even older religion called Zoroastrianism.
Actually, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I'm mixing up that story from the Iliad with something else. Maybe I'm mixing it up with that story you told me about Athena. I don't know. Okay, my bad, you guys. I don't want to give you a wrong story.
Wait, I have a theory.
Mm-hmm.
What, you know how Catholics have those angels with the wings?
Mm-hmm.
What if they're getting it from the fairies or something? They look so similar.
Yeah.
there's this chicken dish that my dad makes. It's called angel wings, but it's just a chicken wing that you eat. That's stuffed. It tastes very good though.
Stuff was what?
I think like
Yeast?
vegetables on the inside.
Oh, cool. Interesting.
Explanation for physical and mental illnesses in the absence of modern medical science. The origin of the concept of demons in the Abrahamic religions, however, actually comes from an even older religion called Zoroastrianism. Zoroastrianism is one of the...
Here's the thing. Just say Zoroastrianism. They have angels. Unlike the Greeks, these guys have angels. Okay? So they try to say these guys influenced the Christians, you know, or the Hebrews or whatever, right? To have angels and stuff. But I actually think they got it from the Hebrews, you know? But they're the only ones that have this kind of dualistic idea of God, like where there's one great God, Ahura Mazda. There's another God, there's another like kind of evil God, like a devil kind of thing, yeah? But they're always at war. But it's not like our God, where our God created the devil, and he's the only God, and then every other thing is just a creation of him. This is like Ahura Mazda, the good God, and the evil God. They're always fighting. It's like dualism, right? So that's why I actually think that they were influenced by the Hebrews. But we'll talk some more about that. I don't know. It's for sure.
One of the world's oldest organized faiths, stemming from 15th to 6th century BC in Iran. I'm not going to go into tons of depth on it because that's not why we're here, but essentially, Zoroastrianism was a monotheistic religion believed to have been influenced by ancient Hinduism that introduced concepts such as judgment after death, heaven...
It's not really monotheistic. Only actually in the whole world, okay, all the thousands of religions in the whole world, right? Only the Hebrews came up with monotheism. The idea of one God, one creator of the whole universe, and he's just creator of all. That's only among the Hebrews. Now some of these polytheistic religions like Hinduism and the Greeks, they would kind of talk about this one ultimate God, but it wasn't like our God who actually died for us and stuff like that, right? But the fact is, the only culture that has real true monotheism was the Hebrews. And then they created Christianity, or Christianity came from them, kind of thing. And then the Muslims came from them. So it's really only the Abrahamic faiths that really have monotheism.
Theistic religion believed to have been influenced by ancient Hinduism that introduced concepts such as judgment after death, heaven, hell, angels, demons, God, and Satan. Of course, under different names, but it is widely believed to have been the influence for all of the Abrahamic religions that followed. Some scholars disagree, but for the purpose of this video, the origin of the concept of demons as far as the Abrahamic faiths understand it was first introduced in Zoroastrianism with what they call devas. Devas were evil supernatural entities with connection to Angra Mainyu, the chief of the devas and the Zoroastrian version of Satan. They are described in the Gathas, the oldest text of Zoroastrianism, as gods that are to be rejected. This concept was then transferred to Judaism during the Persian era circa 550 to 330 BC. And later those concepts of course transferred into Judaism's successors, Islam and Christianity.
What?
Devas. Devas were evil supernatural entities with connection to Angra Mainyu, the chief of the devas and the Zoroastrian version of Satan. They are described in the Gathas, the oldest text of Zoroastrianism, as gods that are to be rejected. This concept was then transferred to Judaism during the Persian era circa 550 to 330 BC.
Oh, you see what this is what I'm telling you. They try to say that these Zoroastrians, that they influenced Hebrews, and then Christianity or whatever, like, or the Hebrew religion kind of came from that. You know, this is what these people try to say. A lot of these scholars will say this too, like secular scholars. But like, I just want you to be aware of these type of things. These type of messaging is out there in the world, you know, and just be aware of it. Be aware, like, just know to reject it. And obviously, you guys know to reject it. But like, I just want to tell you, their tricks are very subtle, you know. What do you think about that, Bunny?
It's very subtle. The
Mm.
devil is very subtle.
Yep.
Later, those concepts, of course, transferred into Judaism's successors, Islam and Christianity. So let's now look at demons from the most common and popular viewpoint, at least as
Portrait of Jesus, like this one. I don't think this one is Jesus. This looks like one of those.
Looks like a nun, like those weird
the
monster
nun
ghost
from,
nuns.
yeah, like the ghost nun from that movie with maybe. Or I thought it was one of those masks, like, you know, those masks, like an Egyptian mask or something.
Maybe.
Anyway, they specialize in misinformation. That's right. The rapture's trending, dude.
Least as far as mainstream media goes, Christianity. Firstly, I think it's important to mention that there is no verse in the Bible that specifically states where demons come from. There are only verses that Christians and scholars have interpreted as the origin of demons, but it is still a topic of debate. There are at least 3 main origins that people believe when it comes to the Abrahamic faiths. The most commonly accepted one that you've probably heard of, the fallen angel origin, and the ones many of you have likely never heard of, the spirits of the Nephilim origin, and the story of Lilith and Samael. I'll summarize all of it here today, but each origin will likely get its own.
So Lilith and Samael, that's not in the Bible, okay? Lilith and Samael are like Gnostic mythology, okay? It's not in the Bible. So the first thing they was talking about the fall of the demons, the fall of the angels, the fallen angels, that is in the Bible. You know, we can see that in Revelation, the Satan is cast down, etc., right? So it's in the Bible. He's just trying to say like it's not in the Bible, like whatever.
Its own dedicated video as well. So let's start with what's familiar. In ancient Christianity as well as in Judaism, demons were believed to be fallen angels. Angels that were cast out of heaven for committing sin. You see, all angels are said to have been created without sin, but they do have free will, and so the choice to sin is always there. The punishment for this, however, is always very harsh, as you'll come to see. The term fallen angel doesn't actually ever appear in the Bible, but the concept of angels falling and being cast out of heaven for committing sin is referenced multiple times. In 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4, it states that God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. A similar sentiment appears in Jude chapter 1 verse 6, saying, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto judgment of the..."
So that's the Bible. The Bible is telling us what happened to the angels. They cast down. That's where people get it. It's in the Bible. What's the problem with this? This guy was trying to say it's like some weird thing that people made up. Like, what are you talking about?
Great day. In the Bible and other biblical texts that I'll discuss shortly, there are 2 major angelic falls. That being the fall of Satan and all of the angels who followed him, and the lesser known fall of the Watchers. First, let's discuss the fall of Satan. In Christianity, it is widely believed that Satan was once the high-ranking angel known as Lucifer.
Anyway, dude, this is getting boring now. So you know what's better for Christ, the rapture guy?
Okay, but that guy is very suspicious. Wait, what do you think of this?
What? This
This
picture?
image. Yeah.
This is dumb. It's like, this is not what they look like. They don't have wings. Angels don't have wings, guys. Let's remember that. Anytime you see a picture of angels with wings, that person is misrepresenting the Bible, and they're probably shills.
Oh, okay.
But what do you think?
I have these angel statues in my room that have wings, and I don't know what to do with them. Am I a shill?
No. I'm not saying you're a shill. The people that made it might be shills.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike and Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you wanna support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shills. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike and Pat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.